Hello, and welcome back to another DespicableGru video. I'm sure you all know about the video game tabs and about the wacky events and battles you can create. But there is also another factor, maps. Now, in a game like tabs, I feel like the maps are pretty important in battle, as due to each map being different in one way or another, whether it be just the overall vibe of the map, and its look, or the map layout. This leads to maps impacting the battle, as each unit will probably respond to the map layout differently. And considering you can place your units anywhere, it can lead to a lot of strategy and planning when you set up your battles, and selecting the units that will fight each other. The maps are pretty cool, and that's why I want to go over the top 5 best maps in the game. My picks will mainly be based on the map's layout and how much you can change up or impact the battle. Some other things, like the vibe of the map and its visuals, can be factored in when ranking the map as well. Custom-made maps will not count, only the maps people into the game already will count, and of course, this is all just my opinion. With that said, let's get on with the video. 5. Dynasty. To start off the top 5, we have the Dynasty map, which is one of the main maps in the game, and it's a really good one. I mean, all of these maps are in the top 5 for a reason, so of course it's going to be a good one. In my opinion, the vibes and visuals are my favorite when it comes to this map. I absolutely love the Japanese theming here, and it leads to this map feeling great. You can tell this map had a lot of thought and care put into it, as it is with practically every other tabs map. And the music too. Both the ambience theme when placing units down and the battle music go pretty hard. They're some of the best music tracks in the game. However, what propels this map into the top 5 is the layout. The layout is essentially a plus sign boxed in by a square, which might sound simple at first, but this layout leads to many fun battles, and units can use this layout to their advantage due to their strengths and abilities, but they can also have a disadvantage due to their weaknesses. That's what I like to see in tabs battles, and this layout exemplifies this perfectly. Plus, the layout is a bit more complex, as the space in between the outer square and the center of the plus contains water, which is the only case of a map not having water that makes you drown, as it is only at ankle level. But if units placed inside the water, they are slow and less agile. And speaking of the center of the plus, it contains a hole where units can fall in, and since it leads to the void, it leads units to die, so they have to be careful, especially smaller ones. But overall, due to the great and interesting layout, which leads to strategic battles, along with stellar theme, vibe, music, and mechanics, Dynasty is an awesome map. 4. Ports. This simulation map can definitely lead to some pretty awesome battles, and interesting strategy when it comes to placing down units and using their abilities properly on a map like this. And that's what made me put this epic map at number 4 on the list. My personal favorite part about this map has to be the many different little areas this map has that all connect into one big stage. From the red and blue team starting areas, the middle bridge, the side ramps, and the sizable area under the middle bridge, it all connects nicely. This leads to very dynamic and different battles, and I love using the terrain to cause said battles. They are the core of the game, and maps can cause the battle to be shaken up and cause different strategies for different units, which is why I like tabs maps so much, and the port maps helps prove my point, as some peak and fun battles have come out of the port map. My only issue is that the visuals are kinda meh. I like the simulation ambience, theme, and the grid-like style, but when it's on every simulation map, it gets old fast, which, just to let you know, is an issue on every simulation map, including the ones in this top 5. But yeah, for the ones in the top 5, they all have excellent layouts to definitely make up for that. And all in all, Port is a pretty good map that makes battles better. 3. Defend the Castle. Now, these top 3 maps definitely are the most unique maps in the game, and the ones I usually end up playing a lot due to the fun interesting battles that can take place here, due to how the battles change up a bit, as they function a little bit differently compared to the rest of the maps in the game. Starting off with the simulation map, Defend the Castle. This map has the red team starting off on these 3 platforms and ramps leading up to the castle, where blue team has its defense set up and red has to break through the defensive and conquer the castle, while blue team has to make sure red doesn't do just that. This map leads to some pretty epic moments, as it definitely changes the battle quite a bit, as instead of an even playing field for both teams, the blue team has the advantage when it comes to the terrain, so red team needs to have the proper use in order to stand a chance. This allows for more unique battles that only females can provide when it comes to tabs, and I personally really like coming up with these kind of battles. So this is why this map is so high up when it comes to my overall map rankings. My only minor complaint is I wish that the castle could have looked more like an actual castle, because it doesn't really feel or look like one, I'll be honest, but it could just be me. But other than that, I have no issues. I love a good old normal tabs map, but Defend the Castle elevates battles even more and changes them, which is what a peak map should do. 2. King of the Hill. Now, King of the Hill is quite amazing. It is number 2 on the list for a reason. Now, as the name suggests, this does act like a King of the Hill-like arena, the giant middle area, which is the hill, that needs to be captured surrounded by 4 ramps with platforms at the bottom, which units spawn. The ramps are obviously used to get into the main center hill. I am personally a really big fan of this layout, and as I mentioned within the castle, it is quite the unique map. In King of the Hill, it's really the only map where you can do these King of the Hill battles, obviously simply called King of the Hill, and these battles are pretty fun. Unlike within the castle, are a nice change of pace for the game. Plus, it's not too hard to do more normal battles along King of the Hill as well. Choosing the map's layout allows for many different and unique strategies, and you do have to place your units properly if you want any chance of battling well. My only real complaint is more so in the game. The placements of units can be finicky at times due to the red team blue team border line being in the dead center of the map. But other than that, King of the Hill is a really fun map and still proves that maps do matter when it comes to battles and tabs. But there is one other map I do like a bit more. 1. Defend the Tower. This is easily my favorite map in tabs. It's similar to Defend the Castle, but better, and it takes the spot of the number 1 map in tabs. But why is that? Well, let me explain. Now, as I mentioned, this is Defend the Castle better, and it is that for 3 reasons. Reason 1 is that the starting area has only 1 ramp and platform, which makes things a lot more simpler, and it's a lot more easier to place down units and strategize when it comes to breaking into the tower. Reason 2 is the tower that blue team has to defend is an actual tower, where the castle in Defend the Castle has a fake resemblance to one. And reason 3 is because I love the complexity and the layout of the tower. It feels like there are many spots where units can be placed in battles and tackled in many different ways with different units. Out of my time playing tabs, the simulation map is the map where I've had the most fun with the games and some of the most coolest battles that come out of this map. And seeing units try to swing the tower and either fail or succeed. The only minor complaint is that it's kinda hard to do proper battles in the map, like Defend the Castle, but considering there are about 40 pre-built maps plus the custom map maker, it's no big deal. Most of the time it's just cool managers of a giant tower. Yeah. I like the tower layout, so I don't know. I don't have much else to say. Due to its cool layout, fun way to change up the battle, and its base for really well thought out and fun battles, Defend the Tower deserves its number 1 spot in my eyes. And that's all I have to say about my 5 favorite tabs maps. Now, some viewers might have noticed that, except for the Dynasty map at number 5 on the list, all the maps in the top 5 were from the simulation group of maps. Now, the reason why this is the case is that, as I said in the intro, the top 5 picks would mainly be based off the stage's layout and how much the map would impact the battle. And something I noticed when I went through all of the maps for this video is that the main maps tend to focus more on theming and visuals, while the simulation maps focus a lot more on the layout of the battlefield you are fighting on, which I find interesting. While some main maps have pretty cool layouts, they usually end up being pretty basic, which is fine as long as the battles end up being fun. Units are definitely the most important part of battles for sure, but a good chunk of the simulation levels are definitely up there, some of my favorite tabs maps, especially the top 4 featured in this video. And yeah, that's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to like and subscribe. You don't have to, but definitely helps with the channel. And did you give my map picks? What are your top 5 favorite tabs maps? Let me know in the comments below. And make sure to check out my other content and follow my Twitter. Links in the description like always. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care, and bye.